When buying a property, always hire a professional inspector before you remove subjects to ensure there are no major problems with it. Here's a list of what they'll look at. First, the exterior of the property. Your inspector will scrutinize the roof, gutters, windows, and doors. They'll look for cracks in the foundation, peeling paint, and safety hazards like wobbly stairs, broken railings, or uneven walkways. Next, they'll do an interior inspection, checking the functionality of the plumbing, electrical systems, heating, ventilation, cooling, and more. They will run the taps, shower, and flush the toilets to ensure that they are working correctly. They'll look for leaks, corrosion, or any other damage that could cause costly repairs down the line. They'll check the electrical systems, including outlets, light switches, and circuit breakers to ensure that they are up to code and working correctly. Next, they'll evaluate the air quality and the heating and cooling systems, including the furnace, air conditioner, and ventilation. They'll check the insulation in the attic, if applicable, and in the walls to ensure that it is sufficient for the local climate. They'll check the condition of the appliances, such as the refrigerator, oven, dishwasher, washer, and dryer. They'll also check for any signs of pest infestations, including rodent droppings, termite damage, or other signs of pest activity. Next, they'll look at the overall structural integrity of the property, including the foundation, framing, and support beams. They'll check for signs of damage or instability, such as sagging floors or walls, cracks in the foundation, or bulging walls. Following that, they'll do a building code compliance inspection to ensure your potential investment doesn't require expensive violation corrections. They'll also look for any safety hazards or violations, such as missing smoke detectors, faulty wiring, or inadequate insulation. Next, they'll evaluate any necessary permits or licenses for renovation or improvement work. If you want to be extra sure, you can check with the local bylaw office to see if there are any bylaw violations recorded against the property. And last but not least, the environmental inspection. They will check for any environmental hazards such as lead paint, asbestos, or black mold. They'll also look for any signs of water damage such as paint discoloration, dampness, or mold growth. This way, you won't be stuck with a huge cleanup bill if you decide to move forward with the purchase, because you can negotiate that the cleanup will be responsibility of the seller. If the property is on land, you can hire a surveyor to look at the property boundary. They will check that the property boundary is accurately marked and that there are no disputes or encroachments. If it's an older property on land, you'll also want to hire a company to check for an underground oil tank. This could end up being a serious environmental hazard if there is one and it has leaked. The cost of removal and cleanup is really expensive, so be sure to check this beforehand so you're not on the hook for this after you buy. Remember, this inspection report is your negotiation tool, so be sure it's thorough and detailed so you can bring the findings back to the seller for remediation, or so you can walk away from the property based on your subject to receiving and approving an inspection clause.